What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss everything going on here in our country that you need to know about here on a daily basis. We got a lot going on here in this country that you need to know about, including potential checks going out to tens of millions of Americans that we'll talk about here in this video. Also in this video, I got some major news for Social Security raises and details in this video. So make sure you watch this video all the way to the end. And I got some major news here for you in this video. Let's jump right in. We got a lot to talk about. Okay, first up, former President Donald Trump wants to split the cost of the special master that he requested with the government. Wants to go halvesies. But the Department of Justice wants him to pay for it. Let me know your thought here on who do you think should pay for it. Here's the details on this. This is kind of interesting. A judge granted Trump's request for a special master, a judge that Trump appointed, but the Department of Justice has appealed the decision. A new court filing shows that the two sides disagree over who should pay for the special masters. The government said that Trump, quote, as the party requesting the special master, should bear the cost. Former President Donald Trump wants the government to split the cost of the special master, but the Department of Justice thinks that he should foot the bill. The U.S. District Judge Eileen Cannon on Monday granted Trump's request to appoint a special master to review the records seized in court authorized search of Mar-a-Lago on August 8th, but the Justice Department has appealed the decision. Both sides submitted their proposed candidates for a special master in a court filing on Friday evening, with each naming two potential picks. The filing also outlined disagreements between the government and Trump's legal team regarding how the special master process would unfold. Trump's team proposed to, quote, split evenly the professional fees and expenses of the special master and any professionals, support staff, and expert consultants engaged at the master's request. But the Justice Department, which has already begun reviewing the seized materials and does not want a special master appointed, disagreed, saying, quote, the government's position is that as the party requesting the special master, plaintiffs should bear the additional expense of the special master's work. The parties also disagree over the review process, including the duties and limitations of the special master. Trump's team wants the special master to be able to review all materials, including those with classification markings, and to evaluate if any documents fall under executive privilege claims. The Justice Department disagrees with both points. Legal experts have previously questioned Trump's assertion that he may have executive privilege claims over some of the documents. Executive privilege is a legal concept that allows the president to withhold certain confidential communications within the executive branch. Meanwhile, back in 2016, in a actual filing when he was president, Trump filed his campaign statement claiming that his net worth was more than $10 billion. So you can let me know your thoughts here on, him having to go halvesies with the special for the cost of the special master that he's requesting. If he's worth more than $10 billion, does he need the government to pay for half of it? Let me know your thoughts here on this. The White House and Senate Democrats eye the child tax credits Hail Mary. Hail Mary pass is if you're not familiar with football terms, a last-minute long throw for a touchdown that's kind of a last-ditch effort. In this case, a last-ditch effort before the midterms, that's just coming up here. and something they hope they could maybe get done before the midterm elections. If they can't, then maybe they could maybe get this done after the midterm elections. Of course, we don't know what's going to happen with the House or the Senate, what might happen after that. But here's the details on this. There's over, you can see this sign here. It says the effects of the expanded child tax credit benefited 61 million kids, kept 3.7 million kids out of poverty in December alone, cut child poverty by nearly half, and reduced hunger by a quarter. So this is one of the things they're working on. They're also working on raising Social Security benefits. They're also working on raising food SNAP benefits this month as well. Coming here, we've been talking about that here on the show as well. So this is just one of the things, and also they did the student loan forgiveness of $10,000 to $20,000 that is done by the president through executive order, but it's in process here. They said the forms are going to come out, I think, in October. I'll keep you up to date on that here. But Republicans, especially like Senate Republican Ted Cruz from Texas, may be challenging this in a court of law. So I'll keep you up to date here on that as well. But when you add up all these different programs, there's really a lot. You look at like the student loan forgiveness program of $10,000 to $20,000. The $20,000 only goes to the lowest of low income people. $10,000, 87% of it goes to people, or went or is going to be going out to people that make about 87% of it goes to people that make under $75,000. Okay, so yeah, that's about 43 million people. The food SNAP assistant program goes out to a little bit over 40 million people as well. 61 million people, or 61 million children on the um, child tax credits. Okay, they're looking to, I'll get to the details here in a second, try to enhance it again. If they can't enhance it, it will go back down to the $2,000 um, per child mark. That's been in effect since Trump actually raised it from $1,000 per child to $2,000 per child in the 2017 Trump tax cuts, when Republicans raised that on their own um, in 2017, when Republicans controlled the House, the Senate, and the presidency. Okay, it was actually Trump's daughter, Ivanka Trump, and Trump that actually her daughter was actually, or his daughter was actually one of the ones that campaigned on that and championed to get that raised, and the Republican raised that on their own. And then now Democrats in the last package last year raised it again to $3,000 and $3,600 with the monthly payments. So it's weird how Republicans raised it and Democrats raised it last year, but then it's fallen off, and they can't come together to raise it together. So, and there are Republican plans. There's Mitt Romney has a plan to actually raise it to $4,200, $350 a month for children under the age of 6. And there's multiple Republicans that want to raise it, but potentially have a work requirement, which would actually cut off a lot of the lowest income Americans, okay, and a lot of people on disability, and it would also cut off a lot of the seniors that are retired and collect Social Security, because I kind of disagree with this, but for some reason or another, Social Security does not count as earned income, even though you earned it your whole life. You may have worked for 20, 30, 40, 50 years and earned your Social Security. Social Security does not count as earned income. I know it's a little bit backward. I get that it for tax implications, it's kind of a good thing that it doesn't, but it's a bad thing that it doesn't when it comes to things like this and the child tax credits and some stuff like this. So in one aspect, it's a good thing, But in other aspects, it's a bad thing because Social Security um, doesn't get taxed up to a certain amount. In fact, I'll show you here in a second that there's a new bill that could um, make Social Security non-taxable for even more money. So Social Security does get taxed in some states and past a certain amount. So there's a common misconception that people think that Social Security is completely non-taxable. That's not the case. If you make a certain amount of money in Social Security, does become taxable. Okay. Um, I'll get to that here in a moment. There's a new bill to make Social Security completely untaxable that could be passed here as well. I'll get to that here next, which would be a good thing for millions of Americans. And there's also states that tax Social Security if you're in one of those states. Um, but if they can bring the child tax credits and enhance it, that would be a good thing as well, because the $2,000, it kind of sounds like a lot, but when we break that down to 12 months, that's about $166 a month per child. So it's not really that much. It's it's better than nothing, or 250 or 300 or 350 or something like that would definitely be more than $166 a month. And the monthly payments is also a better amount as well. So Democrats are trying to figure out a way to pass it here now. You can see here the White House is engaging with Senate Democrats about making one last push for an enhanced child tax credit this year. And in return for GOP votes, aka Republican votes, may dangle support for corporate tax credits for research and development that expired last year. So it'd be like a trade, a compromise, Axios has learned. And remember, Republicans, there's a lot of Republicans that are for the child tax credits, as we've learned, as we know. So this is something that could happen. Some Democrats see a year now. It won't be the monthly payments. You'll have to file a tax credit, but you have to or a tax return, but you have to do that anyways to really get it anyways. Okay, even if you're not required, you have to do that anyways. Some Democrats see a legislative horse trade. It's an interesting term there as their last chance to enshrine some version of President Biden's enhanced child tax credit into law before Republicans potentially take one or both chambers of Congress. Remember, it's going to be much harder for them to take the Senate just mathematically. A compromise package would require 60 votes in the Senate, meaning at least 10 Republicans would need to support it without any Democrat defections. In response to the Supreme Court decision on Roe v. Wade, some Republican senators, including Mitt Romney and Marco Rubio, have been floating pro family policies, including a cheaper and less expansive version of Biden's child tax credit. It's interesting because what does this have to do with Roe v. Wade? It's weird that they're tying Roe v. Wade into the child tax credits. It's interesting. But a Hail Mary tax package would face not only a ticking congressional clock, but also potential opposition from Senator Joe Manchin, who may not be willing to support more deficit spending. Yeah, this guy Joe Manchin he's something else, man. But it's okay to spend deficit spending for big oil companies, right? That's it's okay to do that. But when it comes to people, helping people, oh no, we can't do that. But we'll help big oil companies. We got money for that though, right? Uh, Republicans and Manchin let Biden's one-year child tax credit, which provided families up to $3,600, expire at the end of 2021. But remember, they paid down the deficit by $1.7 trillion this year. So it's not like we're not taking care of business here. Okay, so there's also a new bill here a new bill seeks to abolish tax on Social Security benefits. A new House legislation proposed by Representative Angie Craig would pay for the change by raising the cap on payroll taxes. and would abolish taxes on Social Security benefits. A bill recently introduced on Capitol Hill seeks to eliminate federal taxes on Social Security benefits for retirees and would pay for it by raising the cap on Social Security payroll taxes from 147,000 to 250,000. If you've been watching my channel, you can see that there's a lot of people talking about doing this one way or another. They're, this is probably going to happen one way or another. Even Republicans want to do this. There's a lot of people talking about doing this for high wage income earners. I wouldn't be surprised if this happens one way or another. The proposal called the You Earn It, You Keep It Act was introduced to the House in mid-August by Representative Angie Craig, a Democrat from Minnesota, saying, quote, Social Security is a promise we have made to the American people. If you work hard and play by the rules, the dignity of a secure retirement will be within your reach. But taxing the very benefits American workers have earned after decades on the job diminishes our promise and threatens to undermine the financial security of retirees already struggling with rising prices. Eliminating this tax will help Social Security benefits go further and ensure the American retirees have all the resources they need after a lifetime of hard work. This would repeal all of the federal taxes on Social Security benefits beginning in 2023, if and when passed. The revenue from current taxes goes directly back into Social Security trust funds. Interesting. According to nonpartisan analysis cited by Craig, the legislation would also improve the long-term solvency of Social Security compared to law and suggests a potential additional 25 years of solvency. We've also seen that in Bernie Sanders' bill that would raise benefits by $2,400 a year for people on Social Security. I'll link you to a video on that afterwards. How taxes are determined now, under current law, Social Security payments are generally taxable for those who surpass certain income thresholds. If a beneficiary's combined income, which is adjusted gross income and non-taxable income, and half of Social Security benefits is above $25,000 as a single filer or $32,000 as a married couple filing jointly, they are then subject to federal tax on Social Security benefits. This might get a little confusing here, but this is the details. You could see it on the screen here. You could pause it if you want to. You could talk to your tax professional or your accountant or anything like that. But depending on how far a beneficiary is over the base amount, either 50% or 85% of benefits are currently taxable. For those under the base amount, Social Security benefits are not taxable. Okay, so under those dollar amounts. Individuals with combined income of more than 34,000, as well as couples with more than 44,000, may pay tax on up to 85% of their benefits. So this new bill, if passed, would get rid of all this tax on Social Security benefits. In 2020, the Congressional Research Service estimated that the average amount of federal income tax owed on Social Security benefits would be about 6.6%. While the tax varies by income, households affected were expected to pay on average an estimated $3,211 per year. In addition to federal taxes, 12 states, according to AARP, also tax some or all of their resident Social Security benefits. Did you know this? I did. Hopefully you do too. The states are Colorado, Connecticut, Kansas, Minnesota, Missouri, Montana, Nebraska, New Mexico, Rhode Island, Utah, Vermont, and West Virginia. State policies on taxing benefits widely vary. Yeah, so if your state taxes Social Security benefits, you might be getting taxed on that as well. You can Google that. You can look into that for your particular state. So I will keep you up to date here with everything going on here in our country that may affect you. I cover Social Security raises, child tax credit, student loan forgiveness. There's over 31 states that have passed state stimulus checks, tax rebates, property tax rebates. I'll link you to some videos here next on the Social Security $2,400 a year raise. I got a video for you on that, and 31 states that are passing state stimulus checks here. I'll keep you up to date on those here as well. So make sure to subscribe down below. Click the subscribe button to our YouTube channel and the bell icon that appears after you subscribe. It's completely free to do so. This way you won't miss out on new videos. Remember that new videos come out here on our YouTube channel at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I will keep you up to date here on everything. Here is a video on the Social Security $2,400 a year raises. You can click on that video if you want to watch that next. Or you can watch this video here on millions of people that are getting checks here on really almost every day. I have new states and millions of people that are getting checks here. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next video.